Guys, thanks so much for tuning in today for today's reading. As you can tell from the title of this video and the thumbnail, we're going to be doing a reading all about how your pet feels about you, what they love about you, all the good tea. And these piles have been very interesting, so you have to tell me about your pet afterwards. As always, the timestamps will be listed in the description, and I'll see you at your reading. Bye! Hello, Pile 1. Thanks so much for being here with me today for your reading. I am so happy you're here to hear what your little critter wants to say to you and how they're feeling and what they love about you. I'm really excited to actually do this reading because I don't think I've ever done a pet reading on this channel before. And I have two wonderful cats that I love and treat as my own children. And I know there are so many people out there who do the exact same thing with their pets. So I personally really enjoy readings when it comes to pets, so I figured why not do it? Let's go ahead and start out. Oh, also I want to say I'm really proud because every single deck that we're using, which will be listed in the description as always, they're all surrounding animals and pets. The thing with the pink deck that is your wise animal body, so it had animal in the title and I was like, okay, it fits. But anyway, let's go ahead and get into your reading. So the first thing we're going to be looking at is the energy of your pet or pets. There could be one or multiple pets that come through here. Feel free to use your intuition to figure out which one it is. Pile 1's pet. Who is Pile 1's pet? Spirit. Ooh. Pile 1's pet. Oh, okay, so we have the lamb, and this just automatically gives me like a small bean vibes. I also wonder, I know lambs are like obviously a baby, but I wonder if either you have a really like new pet, like a puppy, or like a kitten or something that's really young, or on the other end of the spectrum, you have an older pet that's like a small bean, like a little baby, you know, like you have had them your whole life, you've had them since they were really young, and you still see them as this really cute, really sweet little bean. I feel like this pet might be a little shy. They might not really bond with multiple people. They're really only bonded with you. I feel like this pet, they look at you as their real parent, you know? They don't see themselves. I think that's why I was going to say your person. I feel like this pet doesn't see themselves as an animal. They see themselves as literally your child. Like you are the same breed, you just look differently. And I wonder if you would agree. I feel like this pet really enjoys being in your lap, or being next to you, close to you. They love cuddling. They are honestly just really sweet, but I do feel like they are pretty shy. So I wonder if you have company over or if there are multiple people living in your house, they really only hang out with you. And I think that just goes to show how much they love you, because this little lamb, it's got a whole bunch of colors surrounding it, but this green color really kind of overtakes the card, and green is the color of the heart chakra. So I feel like this animal really lives from their heart. They're just the sweetest little baby. And I feel like this would be the pet, like if you take them to the vet, they're so nervous that they just burrow into your chest or in your lap. They don't want to look at people. They're just kind of like, my parent must protect me at all times. I also feel like this pet might get a little sad or a little separation anxiety when you do leave or whenever you're not home for a substantial period of time. And, you know, as people, we can't always control that because we have things to do and we never want to leave our pet. But I do feel like this pet is just like, when they're not around you, they're kind of like, okay, then what am I supposed to do? Like, I need to be around my person. I also get the sense that maybe this pet isn't super, what's the word? I don't know what the word I'm looking for, but they're not very, they don't have a big appetite. They might be more on the petite side, and they just kind of graze, or they maintain a figure. I don't know, like, especially if this is an older pet, I'm getting a little bit of a classy vibe here. Like, as if they were a person, they respect their figure. They want to keep themselves in shape. I don't know, your pet is really silly. It's like they really do see themselves as a person and not an animal. I do kind of wonder if maybe this pet has had lives where they are human or they have been human, and that just comes with a whole bunch of inherent knowledge. And I wonder if it's like when you look into this pet's eyes, you can almost see the depth there and see that they have definitely been around and there's a lot of wisdom you can gain from them, even if they can't really communicate with you like humans can. I do think that this pet could be a little vocal. Even if they are shy, they aren't scared to kind of tell you what they need or what they like. And I wonder if that just kind of strengthens your bond. Like, you guys have a really close connection where you can just look at each other or make tiny noises that you fully comprehend and you fully understand. I feel like this pet came here almost like a protection, because the lamb kind of reminds me, lambs historically have been a sacrifice, and I'm not saying that this pet sacrificed anything to really be here, for you, but I feel like this pet has come down to be a sort of protection or a guide for you in the physical realm, because sometimes we do get lonely. We are all human. We can all experience this. And I really resonate with this energy with my older cat, Miso. And that's why I'm kind of expressing this here. Like a familiar energy. In Sabrina, the Teenage Witch, how all the witches have a familiar. I feel like this pet would be considered your familiar. This is a pet that chooses you, an angel or maybe a spiritual being that came down in a physical form to be with you and to help guide you on your journey and to support you, because sometimes just praying, we can connect with our spiritual beings like that. Sometimes that's not enough. You might hear my kitten playing right now with her bowl. So sorry. But sometimes we do need that little physical connection with a being, even if we can't fully communicate. It's that intuitive love and connection that you just feel. I think this pet would say that you've done an excellent job at being their parent, especially if they're older. I think they want you to know that they love the life that you have provided, and they just feel so blessed to be chosen by you and that they chose you. They really are expressing so much gratitude here of just you and their connection with you. And I think they would say they really love the space. They love how you maintain their space. That's why I'm feeling this regal energy, like they have been human before. I feel like this pet has preferences. They prefer things a little bit more neat, a little bit more clean. They like when things smell good. A side note, they like the air freshener or like the candles that you guys use. Scent is very important to this pet. And they really appreciate when things are picked up. They also, if they have like a favorite spot in the house, they like how you maintain that. Like maybe you fluff up a pillow for them before bed, or you clean their kennel in a specific way, or you maintain a really clean space for them. They really, really, really appreciate that. And yeah, that's what I'm getting from this pet right here. Let's pull some more cards. So I'm going to pull from the, what is this called? The Woodland Wardens. See what else this pet is coming through to say. Pile one's pet. What is pile one's pet coming through to say? The messages. Oh, fell on the floor. Let's see. We have the duck and chrysanthemum, and this says luck. So either this pet wants to come through to let you know that something really lucky is happening to you soon. I feel like that's a little message. Like they have an easier time communicating with the spirit world, and they just want to come through and say, prepare yourself for something really special coming through. But the other messages I'm getting here is just the sheer gratitude that they feel to have been blessed with you and your presence. They feel so lucky to be around you, and they feel like the luckiest pet alive. I wonder if you guys spoil them, or you give them treats, or you buy them lots of toys. They just really love all of the efforts that you put forward to make this pet have a really wonderful life. And they love the quality time that you guys spend together. They love cuddling. They love going on walks with you if you go on walks. And I'm getting a message with chrysanthemum, because chrysanthemum, I could be wrong, but I feel like chrysanthemums, there's either a culture or some place, I think it might be France. I might be getting this totally wrong, but there is some place in the world or a culture where chrysanthemums represent like a death or a mourning or something. And I think this pet just wants to say, even through death or whatever transformation life has, they want you to know that your bond will never be broken, and you will be sent signs from them if anything were to happen. I'm not saying they're planning on anything happening. I don't think they plan on going anywhere right now, but they just want you to know, like, death cannot separate a bond that you two share. And I feel like if you do believe in reincarnation in multiple lives, this pet wants you to know that this will not be the last time that you see them. They do fully plan on coming back as many times as it takes to support you, and they wouldn't have it any other way. They kind of want to be your lucky charm, and they enjoy supporting you throughout all the lifetimes that you guys have shared. And I feel like there's something serendipitous either about how you received this pet, or how you will continue receiving this pet in future lifetimes. It's like you're always going to have this little like goosebump feeling, or this tickle down your neck whenever you meet them for the first time, where it's like, I've known you before and we share a strong connection, and you know, this is the serendipitous way that we were meant to meet. I feel like this pet came in a point in your life where you really needed that extra support. You really needed a companion, and this pet knew that it was time to present themselves. And I think they just want you to know that there is more to life than what you might see or feel. And I feel like this pet also wants to say, I know more than you think I do. I might present to be a little ditzy or doopy sometimes, but I know, like, my consciousness is a lot smarter than you think. And I also wonder if there have been times where this pet has made you late, or like they've hidden themselves somewhere and you've been freaking out trying to find them, and they might have done that on purpose because they, like, on a subconscious level or on a spiritual level, they knew if you left early, or if you left for work like 5 minutes earlier than you did, there would have been a car accident or something would have happened. Like, you know, I feel like this animal definitely protects you, and they can sense things that maybe you don't. And so I think they just want you to know, like, don't ever get mad at me for hiding your hair ties or making you scared that I ran away, because I am actually protecting you. There's a method to my madness. Let's pull one more oracle card. This is the Wise Animal Body. Also, I just want you to know, this is like the 5th time I've had to take my cat, my little kitten, off of the table. She is really drawn to your reading. She is obsessed when I do tarot readings. She has to be constantly on me, constantly on the cards, but with you guys, she like will not leave me alone. So Pile one. What else for pile one's pet? What do they want to say right now? Okay. So with the Unify card here, I am getting a message of this pet wants to tell you either you are about to start meeting members of your soul family or members of this world that can really help lead you to your soul family. I wonder if this pet sees you as a bit of a homebody or someone who doesn't really have a whole bunch of friends. No hate, no shade, because I love being a homebody. I don't hang out with anyone. But I feel like this pet just wants you to know, to not be scared to open your heart up to new people and to be ready and willing and open to receive love that you deserve, because I think they want you to know that love comes in many different forms, and the love that you feel with them can also be shared with real people. There are people out there that will make you feel just as connected and loved as this pet. Let me gather what I'm trying to say. This pet says the connection that you felt with me can also be shared with humans. And I think they're coming through they know your struggles. They know that you have gone through situations that have made you hesitant to opening up to humans. And this might be something that you share, if you've adopted an older pet, or this pet came later in life and they've gone through some really rough patches in their life. This pet is coming through to say, I understand where you're coming from, but they would like you to work on mending this insecurity, either insecurity or this wound about letting people come in and share space with you and express love with you. Because, okay, I don't want to get dark, but this pet is saying, I'm obviously not going to be around your entire life, and I want you to have connections that make you feel just as loved as I do. Because I think they're just trying to be a little realistic here, and they're like, when I'm no longer here, I need to pass the torch off to people, but you need to let people come in so that I can pass the torch off to them, Not that they're preparing to die or anything, but they just want you to be open to new relationships and unifying with the world and putting yourself out there more. I wonder if there's a special soulmate connection out there that's waiting for you to open the door and let them in. I also wonder if this pet is I have a person for you that you would meet if you just went out, and I love them already, so I know you're gonna love them. I don't know. I also feel pay attention to how your pets react to people, because I know some pets, they're very particular with who they express love to. And if you notice that this pet starts to be really friendly to a certain person or really friendly to a family member, I feel that's a sign that that person is a safe space, and this pet is kind of showing you it's okay to be open and honest with this person, because if they can trust him, then so can you. So, if that resonates, let's go ahead and get into the tarot portion of your reading. This is so cute. I love that we're doing this reading here today. I wish I did one of these sooner. So, pile one's animal. What is it that you want pile one to know? And let's see, I don't have questions planned out, but I want to, what do you love the most about pile one? Is there anything you would change in your current life? So what they love the most about you is that No matter the ups and downs that you've gone through, you are always so loving to them, and you always make sure to provide for them. You know, I see it on TikTok. So there was a trend a while ago where pet parents were showing videos of their pets, and they're like, I'm so sorry, I can't, like, I have to cut back on snacks, or I can't buy new toys this month because money is tight. And they would show one of their pets that's like, oh, of course, mom, that's totally fine. And then the next slide would be their other pet that's like, screw you, like, go get it for me right now. We must eat the human. That kind of reminded me of this. And I feel like this pet would be the one that's like, oh, of course, mom. Absolutely. I love you unconditionally. I totally understand. I feel like this pet just feels like they couldn't have asked for a better human, a more loving human at all. And I think they've seen you go through so many hurdles, and you've always come out on top. You've always provided for them, like their food. They're just like, don't ever stress about having to change our food, or having to cut back on snacks, or having to not take me for a walk on a Thursday. You know, that isn't what I'm worried about, because I love you and I support you no matter what. And they're just so grateful that you even consider them whenever you're going through rough patches in life, because I feel like they really do see you guys as a partner throughout this life. And they're just like, hey, I'm here for the good, the bad, the ugly. And if you are going through a time of struggle right now, they're like, don't worry. Like, if you're having to work super late, I can hold my own. If you have to get off-brand food for a week versus our normal name brand, don't worry about it. Don't stress. They really feel like you are a great provider, and they just really don't want you to stress about anything that's going on right now, because they understand. I also think they want you to know that they are physically trying to help support you if you are going through a rough time right now. If you notice this pet is being extra cuddly, or even I've heard stories where like cats will kill birds or like small rodents and bring them to their human. I wonder if your pet has done something similar, where they're just like, here, feel better. Or I've seen videos where like golden retrievers will take their favorite toy and give it to their human when they know their human is sick, or they're going through a rough time. I just feel like they want you to know that they're in this life with you together, and they want to support you in whatever way they can. So whenever you're crying or so, like if you need extra cuddles, grab them for some extra cuddles because they are so down to support you in whatever way they can. I think I got that reversed. This message was supposed to be what they want to tell you. I can't remember if I said this is how they feel about you or what they want to tell you, but that was what they want to tell you, which makes more sense than how they feel about you. As far as how they feel about you, what they love the most about you. Goodness gracious, I am all over the place. Please excuse me. I think what they love the most about you is that you would rather spend time with them than any other human. And I know we had that message earlier about how they are encouraging you to make more human connections, but they just love that you are so connected to them, because I think they feel just as connected to you. They feel like you could talk to them about anything. Like they love when you come home. I wonder if you do this. Like they love when you come home and you're just like talking to them in a baby voice and you're telling them about your day, or maybe you're cooking and you're explaining to them what you're doing. This is a very inquisitive animal. This pet loves listening to you talk because they really do understand what you're saying, and they love being a part of your world. They really do love the communication that you guys have together, and they love when you tell them like, you're such a good girl, or you're such a good boy. They love when you tell them, oh, you're so pretty. You know, they really do take those compliments to heart, and they don't see you as someone that is like fibbing or lying ever. They really do think that your word is the word of God, you know? They see you as so wise and so talented, and it's almost like this pet is like, I want to be you when I grow up, you know? I want to be just like my mom. I want to be just like my dad. They might even be taking notes, like maybe you'll come back as a pet in a lifetime where they're the human, and they're like, oh, I like when they did this, or this is really cool when you're an animal. I'm gonna make sure I do that for them when they're my animal, you know? I feel like they just they're very responsive to whatever you put out there for them. They're also very curious. They love that you involve them in whatever you're doing. I also wonder, I wonder if you like read to them or you share media with them. Maybe you watch TV together, and this is the pet that actually watches TV, you know? Or maybe they watch social media with you. They love doing that with you. They just like that you are so inclusive of them in your world. As far as what this pet would change, I wonder if this pet really likes water, or maybe they're just a little bit dehydrated. I wonder if they're saying to you, you could add water to my food or whatever, and it would help me with hydration. But if it's not that, I wonder if this pet really enjoys being around water, and they're like, Mom, Dad, you haven't taken me to the lake for a while. You haven't taken me to the river, the creek, or whatever. Can we go on a trip soon? I think that's the only thing that they could really say that they want right now. But overall, they just, they're really grateful. And there's really not anything that they feel they could want for, which is super cute. Okay, so pile 1, that is all I have for you here today. I hope you enjoyed this reading. If you did, feel free to give me a like, feel free to comment, and feel free to subscribe. I'd love to have you join us here at Tarot Moods. But for now, I'm going to leave this reading here. Have a wonderful, beautiful, blessed good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Bye, pile 1. I almost said pile 3. Hello, pile 2. Thanks so much for being here with me today for your reading. I'm super excited for this reading. Pile 1 was a lot of fun. I have never done a pets reading before here on my channel, and I feel like it's time. And I'm really excited because I'm doing all like animal themed decks today, and all these decks will be listed down below in the description as always, but we're just gonna go ahead and see what's going on with your pet. Now, you could have multiple pets. We'll see how many come through here. You're more than welcome to choose another pile, like if you have multiple pets, but let's just go ahead and see what happens. Tell me all about pile 2's pet. Who is pile 2's pet? Okay, so we have 2 coming through here. Also, my cat has been nonstop on me while I've been filming these readings all day. So she's been interrupting us every now and then. So please excuse that. So it's interesting because both of these cards, we have the crow and the phoenix, those are both winged animals. So I wonder if you have a bird or a winged animal. If not, they could just be kind of free spirits, but let's see. I feel like the crow, either one or both of your pets, is very loud, very almost like rambunctious, a free spirit. They like to do whatever they want to do, and they want it now. But I also feel like this pet enjoys watching humans do their thing. I wonder if this animal has only reincarnated as an animal and they haven't really incarnated as a human before, and I feel like they're just really intrigued by human behavior, and they're very, very watchful. Like they enjoy watching TV, they enjoy looking out the window or watching you and your family if you have multiple people who live in your house. And I feel like they're very good at absorbing lots of information and a lot of cues. I wonder if you have a lot of tricks with this animal that like it feels very smart. They feel very intuitive, very intelligent, and I feel like they pick up cues really quickly. They might like to talk a lot since we do have the crow, and all I'm hearing is gah, gah, gah in the back of my head, like constantly throughout this reading. So I feel like this animal is very good at communicating what they want and their needs. They might be the type of animal that, like I've heard some people will have a little, like a bell on their door whenever their pet needs to go outside. So they might ring that whenever they want to go outside, or they have a little cue whenever they want food to tell you, or maybe this animal even is at the point where they use those buttons, you know, to communicate. If you've ever seen those videos where like dogs or cats have little buttons that they use to talk back with their humans. I get the sense that this animal, the reason why they're so watchful of humans is because they really want to reincarnate as a human. And that might be something that you kind of pick up on. Maybe this animal really likes to behave like humans, and that's why they watch so much. Maybe they sit up like a human, or they stand on their legs like a human. They try to imitate like human voices. I'm thinking of huskies where they kind of talk back to their owners, you know. But I also want to say, I wonder if this animal comes from a past of like, they didn't have a good home in the past, whether you adopted them when they were a little bit older or when they were just like little babies, they had a negative experience with an owner. I feel like they would say that you have really opened their world up and that they feel a lot more free now than they ever have been. Like free to be themselves, free to be an animal, to be a pet, and to be accepted and to be loved. They don't feel caged in by you. They don't feel like they have to stay quiet. You know, that's a big thing coming through. And I think this animal would say, if they could speak, they'd say, what did I do in a past life to deserve this human? Because it is nice over here. I do feel like this animal has a very strong personality, and they might kind of be the life of the party, and that's why they talk a lot. I wonder if you have a lot of people coming in and out of your house, or there's just a lot of people who live with you and they have a very strong personality that just kind of grasps the attention of whoever's around them. I'm almost imagining like a very old dog that will plop down on the couch next to whoever and just kind of go like an old man, you know, and it's like long day, long day. I feel like this is definitely the type of pet that makes a very strong impression. Maybe you're the person in the friend group that has the pet where everyone makes memes about, or everyone, you know, everyone loves your pet, you know? And I feel like it'd be hard to not love this pet because they are so charming. They really know how to get into the hearts of people, and they really know how to just kind of chill out with humans. This pet is not anxious. This pet is not scared. This pet is just kind of like, yeah, I'm one of you guys. Let's go, bro. I do feel like this pet would be really well with other animals if you are thinking about adding more animals, or if this pet has brothers or sisters, they really like them. And I think they would say that they take on more of a leadership role when it comes to their brothers or sisters. They like feeling responsible. They like feeling like the man of the house, so to say. And I do think that this pet takes their responsibility of protection. Like, I feel like no matter what kind of breed this pet is, they feel a duty to protect their humans and whoever else is in the household. Like, if they have other pets, they see themselves as big brother, big sister, macho man energy. And they want you to know that they would do absolutely anything to keep you safe and to make everyone happy. That's really sweet. Let's go ahead and pull some more cards. Spirit, what else can you tell me about Pile 2's pet? Oh my gosh, yeah, what was I just saying? We have the bear and cedar with leadership. This pet definitely feels a strong sense of responsibility to the family or to you. They feel like they came here to protect you, to be there, to show you that they aren't going anywhere. I feel like this is a very strong pet who will be around for a very long time, especially if this is an older pet. I think they want you to know that something that keeps them going is the idea that they have a responsibility to you. And it just keeps coming through. Like, I'm not going anywhere. I will die on this hill. I am not going anywhere. I have a duty, I have a responsibility, and I'm going to see it through. I do think that this pet wants to say that they really do love cuddles, and even if they are a larger animal, maybe there are times where they try to curl up in spaces where they're just a little bit too big to do, or just unconventional spaces. Maybe they want to join you at the dinner table, and eat with all the humans. This pet keeps saying, like, hey, even the big tough guys need a little cuddle every now and then. They love snuggling up, and I think they really do love warmth. They like feeling warm. I wonder if their coat or their fur is a little bit more sheer or not as thick. They just enjoy staying warm and feeling cozy, but they're not afraid to get rough and dirty. I see them outside rolling in the mud. They really like rolling in mud, if that's something that they do. Or if it's like a cat that goes inside and outside, they enjoy the time that they spend outside. It's almost like they're paroling their territory, making sure that everything is where it needs to be, making sure that no one's misbehaving. And I do get the sense that this pet would be the type to patrol at night around the house, to peek into every single door and check on maybe kids or check on you when you're sleeping. They just want to make sure that everything is as it is. And I do get like, maybe this pet is a little bit more rambunctious at night. Maybe they get the zoomies at night, or they're just more awake at night. They're not really super cuddly when it comes to sleep time for the humans, because they feel like they have to make sure that things stay protected. It's almost like a shift energy. They're just like, okay, my shift's come, it's 9 p.m. The humans are asleep, it's time to protect, it's time to patrol. And I feel like if this is a dog, they're apologizing. They're saying, I know sometimes I might bark at things that aren't there, but listen, I gotta keep you safe. And I'm sorry that it annoys you. I'm sorry if it comes at nighttime or inconvenient times, but this is my job and I am protecting you, and I'm not gonna apologize for that, but I will apologize for the inconvenience. This pet definitely gives me dad energy, dad vibes strongly from this pet. I want to get one more oracle before we get into tarot. This is Wise Animal Body. What else can we know about this pet? So I do want to say, if this pet is a little older, they might benefit from like going in water or somewhere where it's a little bit nicer on their joints. I wonder if they're having a little bit of joint pain right now, or they just need a little extra stretching. Maybe you could help them stretch out their legs, stretch out their paws, or however you know your pet best. Maybe if you've noticed they've been limping a little bit, maybe just take them to the vet if you can, see if they need any medication or pain management here and there. I think this pet would say, I'm still young at heart, don't worry, but my physical body can sometimes be a pain. They also like whenever they stretch and you're like, oh, big stretch. Because I know a lot of people do that with their pets, and I think this pet finds it really cute. They're like, yeah, that was a good stretch, actually. That was a really good stretch. I wonder with this Void card, Was there a time where this pet was lost for a bit, or you weren't around them for a bit? Because it feels like they got lost, or I don't know how to describe it, but they're just saying like that moment was really eye-opening for them, because they felt not only lost physically, but like mentally and physically. They don't ever want to spend time away from you like that again, because they were so scared, and they were so happy whenever they were reunited with them. But they are bringing up this point of like, I don't ever want to get lost like that again, because you're my person, you're my human, and I don't know what I would have done if I wasn't ever reconnected with you, you know? They just felt this scary feeling. And I wonder if this pet is saying like, maybe they have bad dreams every now and then about this experience, and reassurance from you to them that you love them and that they're safe would really help. But yeah, they're showing me this time where they were lost, or y'all were separated for a while, and they were so scared, and it's not something that they look fondly back at. So I wonder if you do a lot of traveling, maybe this pet just really, if you could bring them along, if you go camping, like bring them along. They just like being around you, and they like knowing that you're safe, because that is what they feel is their purpose, to keep you safe, to keep a watchful eye on you. And whenever you're not there, they're kind of just like, well, what do I do? I don't know what to do. I don't have my human. What do I do? So now I want to go into tarot, and I want to see what your pet would say to you if they could. What would Pile Two's pet say to them if they could? And what do they love the most about Pile Two? And lastly, is there any requests, any changes that this pet would make if they could speak? I kind of want to start with any changes that they would request. I feel like this pet wants more responsibility, or they want more trust from you. I wonder if there's like an area of the house that they're not allowed to go in because they might have done something bad there, or like there are certain things that they're not allowed to do, and they're just like, please let me do it because you can trust me. I don't know. And this is really silly, so this is up to you, obviously. But they're just kind of like, I have grown, I have matured. You can trust me, mother. I can be responsible. Maybe they're asking for like more off-leash time if you go outside, or I don't know. I wouldn't know your exact situation. But like, as for example, sometimes I take my cats outside and I put them on harnesses and leashes, and they always want to get out of the leash and go where they're not supposed to. So it's almost like my cat being like, mother, let me go, let me wander. Or maybe they just want more time. Like, if you put them in crates, maybe they're like, you can trust me now. I will not do the bad things. I have grown. They want a little bit more freedom than maybe what you give them right now. And obviously that is up to you, but that is the request that they would make if they could speak. As far as what they would say to you, I wonder if they're feeling a little bit disconnected, like maybe you guys have been a little busy recently and you haven't necessarily had a whole bunch of time to spend with your pet, or especially if you've welcomed like children into your life or a new animal. I think they love your family so much, but they're just like, I'm feeling a little left out. I'm feeling like I could use a little bit more communication or a little bit more quality time. And I think they would say they want to be included in more things. Like this is a pet where they want you to talk to them. They want you to tell them about your day. They want you to treat them like a human, and include them in family game night. Even obviously, like they can't play games, but they just want to be a part of more things. I think what they love the most about you is how forgiving you are, because I feel like this pet would say they've been a little mischievous in the past, or they've done things in in the moment that they didn't really think of because they're an animal, and maybe they chewed on some furniture, maybe they ate some shoes, and they're like telling me that you are so forgiving and they feel so bad about what they did. I'm hearing like when they were younger. I wonder if this is just an older animal in general, and they're apologizing for their younger self, but they're saying thank you so much for loving me throughout all the different stages and not holding a grudge too strong. Also, this is kind of random, but they love when you share their food or your food with them. They love human food so much, specifically like fatty, carby food. I don't know, they just really, really love it. They love human food. That's something that's coming through very strongly. And they're like, I know you say it's not healthy for me all the time, but a little now and then, it's fine, I wonder, like, sometimes my parents, they'll make a plate for Thanksgiving for their pets and stuff, their dogs, and every year, like, the dogs are so freaking happy. They sit at the table with us and they eat their Thanksgiving meal. They scarf it down. So I wonder if you do something similar at holidays or for their birthday, especially if you make like a special birthday cake, animal birthday cake or something. They really, really like that. Also, peanut butter. They love peanut butter. They really, really, really love peanut butter. But that's all I'm getting here for your pet and what they'd like to say, what they'd like to communicate. If you enjoyed this reading, feel free to give me a like. Feel free to comment. Feel free to subscribe. I'd love to have you join us here at Tarot Moods for future videos in the future. But for now, that's all I have for you. I hope you have a wonderful, blessed, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Bye, Pile 2. Hey, Pile 3. Thanks so much for being here with me today for your reading. I was like in the middle of filming a whole bunch of readings, and I decided to take a break before filming yours. And I go on the internet, and Liam Payne from One Direction died. So if that gives you a time period of whenever I'm doing your reading right now, that's what happened. I don't know how to feel about that. I wasn't like a huge One Direction girly, but I was definitely a fan in middle school. That just doesn't feel real, and I'm just gonna be real on here. Yeah, what the heck? What the heck just happened? Anyway, back to the topic of your reading. So sorry about that little segue. We are going to be looking at what your pet has to say to you and what all the details. Sorry, I'm still a little in shock, but the day must go on. We have a busy schedule. Let's just go ahead and pull some cards. Pile 3's pet, please, spirit guides. Pile 3's pet. Okay, so we've got a pretty pet here, okay? This pet, since we have the peacock card, I feel like your pet definitely prides themselves on their looks. I feel like they know that they're a very good-looking pet. I feel like cleanliness is very important to them. I also feel like this pet feels like they run the show around these parts. You know how some studies suggest that cats don't think that their owners are like their owners, they just think that they're roommates that give them food, That's kind of the energy I'm getting here. This pet is like, I run the household. I allow you to live here in my presence. Go get me food, peasant. And it's not coming from a standpoint of like they hate you, but it's definitely like this pet has a bit of, I guess, pet ego, where they're just like, I am royal, I am regal. You are blessed to have me in your life. But deep down, I feel like this pet would say they are very, very, very blessed to have you as their owner. But this pet's energy is really charming. I feel like this pet has a special place in the house, and if any other pets that you have, or like maybe anyone else tries to sit in that special spot, they kind of give a "what are you doing" look, like what do you think you're doing. I also feel like this pet might be a little bossy and a little yappy. Like they might tell you, hey, I need to go outside now. Hey, I want my food now. Hey, I want my snacks now. Maybe they even bring you toys and they're like, oh yeah, we're playing now. I'm not leaving until we play right now. I feel like this pet really knows what they want, and they're not afraid to make it a point that they want it and make sure that you comply. They have a very interesting personality, I'd say. I do feel like they try to portray themselves as this big, tough animal that's in control and not scared of, excuse me, I just burped, scared of anything. But I feel like deep down, they're a little bit of a scaredy cat. Like, if they hear a noise, like a loud noise, they might run away. Or I'm picturing like a little baby chihuahua chasing a large dog, and then the dog turns on the chihuahua, and then the chihuahua's like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, I don't want to play anymore. I feel like this pet's bark, whether it's a barking animal or not, I feel like their bark is a lot louder than their bite. I also feel like they love to get groomed. I don't know if you groom them often or you give them like baths, like a bird bath or something. I don't know. But they enjoy being clean. They like the smell when they're nice and clean. They also really like blankets and being all wrapped up and cuddly. I don't know if you like dress them up or put them in little outfits like a Siamese cat. Is it a Siamese? The ones that are like little chickens, the cats that are naked, and you have to like dress them up in little sweaters and stuff. I feel like they really like that. They like attention. They want to be the center of attention. I feel like if anyone were to come over to your house, they are kind of just like, okay, you need to pet me now. You need to cuddle me now. How dare you not talk about only me? This pet holds themselves in high regard, and they really like being a showstopper. I also wonder if you like show this pet, like maybe you take pictures of this pet or you take them to shows, like pet shows, you know what I'm talking about. This could even be like a little sassy pig that you take to the fair for shows and stuff, you know, I don't know, but they like being pretty. I feel like they would say that you do a very good job of making sure that they look good. And it's giving me the personality from Beverly Hills Chihuahua, like all those little rich chihuahuas. Not saying that you have a chihuahua, but it's just the energy that I'm getting here. They like being pampered. They like having the best food. They might be very picky about their food. They might be the type of animal or pet that will just not eat if they don't like the smell of the food, or they like subtly protest to make sure that they get what they want. Your pet sounds very interesting, very charming. I want to pull some more cards to see what this pet would like to say, what we're here for. So we have the owl, and this says wisdom. A little personal message that I think this pet wants to remind you of is that you need to start giving yourself a lot more credit than you do. I think this pet wants to see you increase your confidence in yourself, and they want to see you embrace yourself wholly. It's almost like this pet just wants to give you a pep talk and let you know that you are that bee. You are that person that can make whatever you want in your life happen. And it's almost like their royal regal energy. They want it to rub off on you. I feel like they would say they have wisdom that you could gain from them. And they have like, now I'm hearing bend and snap. Like, I don't know. This pet is just like, very invested in your own personal growth and seeing you live your best life, because I think this pet understands that when you're living your best life, that means they are also living their best life. And I wonder if you've been facing a lot of challenges recently or hits to your confidence. Maybe you've been crying a lot recently around this pet. And I'm seeing that scene from Pixar's, what is it? I can't remember the name of it, but the scientist lady, she's like, pull yourself together, you are Elastigirl. And that's this pet really wants to remind you who you are and what you are capable of. And they want to see you embrace the inherent wisdom that you already hold inside of yourself. They are saying, you are smart. You don't need to change anything about you. Don't listen to the people who are making you feel bad, because you're a great person. You're a great mom. You know what you're doing. Great mom or dad or whatever. Sorry. They're kind of just like, it's time to get out of this slump. It's time to get moving. I don't like seeing you like this. They have a very interesting energy for sure. I wonder if you're someone who normally exercises, like if this is a dog or something, you bring them along for exercise, and then because you've been in a little bit of a slump, maybe you haven't been able to bring them out to exercise because you just haven't been feeling it. And I'm losing my voice. This pet is like, just because you're suffering right now doesn't mean I have to suffer. They're trying to, in the best way that they can. Like, they don't really understand the human experience. I feel like this pet has only been an animal, and they don't really resonate with human energy. Not in a bad way, but they're more just kind of, they're more like, ugh, humans are so dramatic. And I feel like, I mean, they love you unconditionally, don't get me wrong, and we're going to see all the things that they love about you. But this pet is like, if you can't do it for you, do it for me. And then you'll start to feel better, because then it'll start making you feel better. They don't really understand compassion and kindness to the extent that humans do, per se. But I think when you have been really down, they hear that and they see that, and they wish they knew how to make things better for you, because they don't necessarily understand what you're going through, but they want to figure out a way to help you from feeling this sadness and this pain. Because at the end of the day, even though this pet has a bit of an attitude, deep down they know that you're their person, and they know that they would do anything for you to make sure that you're living your happiest and healthiest life. I do think that sometimes this pet gets a little confused on what to do and why certain things are the way they are. And I think sometimes that can make them frustrated, because they don't understand. They just don't understand the human experience. This pet is very different from the last two pets. We've had some very different energies here. But I think they think a lot about what they could do to cheer you up. And in their brain, it's almost like, I'm cute enough, so like, shouldn't they just be happy? So I wonder if this pet isn't the best at emotional connection, because there are some pets where if you start crying, they just leave the room. They're like, I am overwhelmed, I'm done here. And I feel like this pet is like, oh gosh, here we go again, I don't know what to do, but look at me, pet me, do what you gotta do, come on, I love you. It's very interesting. It's almost like an emotionally unavailable father where they're trying their best, but they really don't know how to help. They just wish they could remind you of all the good things in this world. And in their mind, they're like, the good things are dressing me up, the good things are giving me baths, the good things are giving me cuddles, and going on little adventures. Like, just focus on that right now, and everything will get better as time goes on. They wish they had more answers, and they wish they had an easier time communicating and dealing with emotions, I guess, for an animal. But they do want you to know that it's not that they don't care, they just don't necessarily know what to do, and they love you very much. I want to pull another card just to see what else we can get from this animal. They're very silly. It's very much a little nonchalant energy. They're more like, I don't want to focus on the negative, let's just talk about what I love and etc. It's like I'm interviewing a really rich, snobby, not even snobby, she's just, this animal's energy is very regal and above me, if that makes sense. Let's pull one more card. Okay, so we have pleasure and stretch. I feel, yeah, this pet definitely likes to focus more on the niceties of life. They really enjoy relaxing for sure. I wonder if this pet sleeps a lot, or they just really enjoy nighttime when you both get to cuddle at night. If you do, I feel like they really, really love when you guys play together, or if you exercise together. That makes them feel really close and bonded towards you. I also wonder if you like paint this animal's nails. I'm kind of seeing like a horse right now. You know how show horses, they like put in oil or they like paint the horse's nails? Whenever you do that, if you do that, it makes them feel like $1,000,000 and it makes them feel really happy. They also are coming through to say they really love the smell of flowers and the smell of your perfume. It's something that reminds them of home. So I wonder if you have like a blanket of theirs or something that you could spray with your perfume, and it would just make them feel a little bit more secure whenever you're not around. This pet also says that you have a very, very pretty smile, and they're almost jealous of that. They're like, the one thing I would want from a human is a smile, because it makes them look like $1,000,000, and I feel like they just find your smile in your cheeks to be very pleasing to them. It makes them feel all mushy-gushy whenever you smile. I also think whenever you talk to them, they really, really like that, because they feel acknowledged in a way. Like, they want to be included in your space, and they want to feel like they're one of you, even though they hold themselves much higher than any human being. They still want to be included in your day-to-day life and your activities. This pet really enjoys the simple things. I think we already tackled this, like cuddling, sleeping, watching TV together. They enjoy doing nothing with you. So now we're gonna head into the tarot portion of the reading. This pet has been very interesting to try and read. They're just a very different energy than anything I've had to read for. And they're kind of like subdued or quiet. They're not very talkative, but they do love you. That's something that they keep saying. They just love you. So I want to see, what would your pet say to you if they could talk? Oh, we have the Two of Cups. That's so cute. And then what do they love the most about you? Okay. Hierophant and Seven of Pentacles. And then last but not least, is there anything that they want to make a request for, or anything that they would like to change? So what they would say to you if they could talk is that they really feel like you guys are two peas in a pod. Like, you really are their best friend. And even though they have a little bit of a bias of not really enjoying humans or being better than humans, they almost don't loop you in with that group. I almost heard like subspecies. That's so Oh my gosh, you're gonna have to tell me who your pet is and their freaking attitude, because holy cow. Um, I feel like they would consider you their best friend, the one and only human that really understands them, and really the only human that they tolerate. um, I wonder if, like, you just know how to scratch their belly, or where to pet them, how to talk to them that makes them feel at home. They could be very social or very talkative around you, and they wish that they could communicate better. Like actually physically communicate with you, because I feel like you two could have conversations going on hours and hours and hours if only you knew what they were saying. Also, they would say that they really like when you tell them the drama of your life. I feel like this pet really likes to know the human tea. They want to know what's going on. And they're like, your secret's safe with me. I can protect it. Don't worry, I've got your back. And they want you to know that if they were to reincarnate, they wouldn't mind coming back as your pet again, because they really, really do enjoy the life that you have built for them. And they feel like they can really trust you to respect them, respect their boundaries, but to also add some playfulness, add some spice into their life, you know. They just really feel like the universe did a really good job at selecting you to be their human, or they did a really good job, you know? What they love the most about you, I feel like you are very hardworking, and you're very good at providing for them everything that they want. I feel like they have the top quality sort of food, the best toys, you know. Their living environment is very well taken care of. And they love that you don't push them to do things that they're not comfortable with, which is very interesting, like a very interesting message. I wonder if you don't force them to be super cuddly when they don't want to be. You don't force them to go, like I heard, go on runs. If they're a dog, maybe they just really don't like that. You know, I don't know. There's just something like, you're very accepting of them, you're very accepting of their boundaries and who they are, and they feel like they don't have to pretend to be something that they're not around you, and that you're just really full of unconditional love for them, and it makes them feel really blessed. I feel like they feel that you provide a space for them to be very comfortable and very loved. I think they love whatever view you have. Like, if you have a window in your house and you set up a little hammock or something for them, they really love that. And I think they're just really grateful for all that you do. You keep a very good schedule for them. You know, you work really, really, really hard to give them the best of the best. And there's also a message coming through. I wonder if you went through a really tough challenge recently, because we kind of were talking about that earlier with hits to your confidence. But this person is saying they're really proud of you for how you handled things and how you got through things. They think you did it with poise and grace, just like them, just like they would do. As far as anything that they might want to change, or any requests that they're making, if this is an animal that you can board, like a dog, so to say, I feel like they really enjoy where you put them for boarding. I feel like they would almost request, like, they want to spend more time with their friends, or if they have like a girlfriend or a boyfriend at this boarding place, you know, they wish that they could spend more time with them. So maybe more play dates, or maybe they just want to be more around their species, like they want some friends. Or maybe they just feel a little lonely if you don't board them and you're at work or you're out doing something. They just get a little lonely and they might want a friend or a sister, brother, whatever, they might be making a request to have another little fur baby join you guys. And then the only other thing, which this is just kind of funny, I think they're just requesting more toys. Anytime you want to give them toys or outfits or anything for them, they will gladly accept it. They love presents. They love material items. They love being showered with gifts, so to say. So your pet is really funny. But that is all I'm getting here for you guys here today. It sounds like you got a handful, but I'm glad that you guys have the relationship that you do, because I can tell that you really love them and you take very good care of your pet, and they really love and appreciate you. So I'm going to go ahead and leave this reading here. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, feel free to give me a like, feel free to subscribe, and you could comment if you feel so called, because your pet sounds like something, and I would love to know a little bit more. But without further ado, I'm going to leave this here. I hope you have a wonderful, beautiful, blessed good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Bye, Pile 3.